Hello, my name is Leah Smith. I'm a sophomore at Cincinnati Christian University. I am an early childhood education major.
And I'm Trevor Williamson. I'm a junior at Cincinnati Christian University, and my major is adolescent young adult social studies education.
This is our podcast about all year-round schooling. I am for it.
And I'm against the idea of having year-round schooling.
With all year-round schooling, you still go to school for 180 days. You just go, some schools go 45, and then you're off 15, so the students will still get a summer break, winter break, spring break, and all their breaks. For an example, their summer break is going to be a little bit shorter. They won't get 3 months, they might get 1 or 2 months.
And one thing to talk about for student breaks, the summer break especially, it's really important that students get outside and they start to develop physically during the summer months. As it is, a lot of students don't have a lot of downtime while they're at home. They become obsessed with technology, things that keep them inside. So having the summer break outside when it's nice is an important thing to have. This helps students have a lot better health. And then next, it also helps students decompress after a long school year. This way we don't see as many behavioral issues in the classroom. A lot of students with learning disabilities may become frustrated with this, being in the classroom so much. So having a long winter break and having an even longer summer break is a great way for students to decompress over their breaks, so that way they don't have to build so much frustration up in the classroom.
After the summer break, most teachers have to spend a lot of time reviewing because many students forgot what they learned last year. So that takes away time they could be learning something new.
Even with smaller breaks, even if they are a week or two, so students are still going to need a refresher in the classroom. So teachers are going to have to recap what they've learned or what they've taught to make sure that students are comprehending it. Knowing that students retain information is one of the key components that need to happen in the classroom. So even if some students are having a month or 3 months or 4 months break, we as teachers and having a schooling that isn't year-round still would need to recap with our students just to make sure that they're getting what they need to know out of a lesson, or so that they understand and comprehend what is being taught.
Our next topic is teams working.
So this is one that is really important. Some teens, especially in upper education, they're going to have to help their families out. So they may be needing to pay bills for their family. In some other cases, some teens need to start working in high school so they can start building a college fund. Not everybody has the financial situation to where they are able to just go to college. So having a summer break that is 3 months, almost 4 months long, is really important, and it appeals to employers, given that they have a really long time to work. That way, it brings a sense of stability to a job position, knowing that somebody's going to be there for a quarter or a third of a year. So having those students, their schedule is more open than students who do go to school year-round. That way, their jobs, they appeal more to employers, so they'll be able to be hired at that position.
Students will still have the same opportunity to work. They just won't be able to work as much during the summer, but they can still work the same amount of days. Those have to work throughout their breaks, so they'll have the same hours. And then our next topic is the daycare cost decrease. If students go to school during the summer, the parents won't have to pay as much money, so they can spend money on different vacations more, or other things that the family wants to do. They'll have to, during the school year, they'll have to find a daycare to watch their kids.
But having students in school more, parents won't have to pay for daycares, but schools will have to pay more. You may see this spending in faculty, or you may see it in upkeep charges, or it's just certain things to keep schools up and running. They'll be paying more for electricity because they'll be in school longer. Even with summer months, like your air conditioning is going to be on for the majority of the day. So instead of having the school vacant during winter break or summer break, you're going to see the electricity being used a lot more in those summer months than you would any other time of the year. And so you're going to see an increase in school spending, not in the parent spending, but this may cause, depending on how the school district's money is pooled, you may see this have like schools cut funding to other activities, or you may see taxes go up in your area based on how much the school is spending on electricity or on the services that they need in their school.
With all year-round schooling, the school buildings won't be vacant or empty. They'll have a purpose and use, so people won't be tempted to go inside of them and damage them or vandalize them.
And then this is the last topic we're going to end up talking about. A lot of after-school activities may be lost by adding year-round schooling. So like we talked about in the last section about cost and spending, you may see some schools have to put more money in other areas to make sure that they can stay open for a year-round schooling. So if you end up having to spend more money, then you may have to cut certain programs and activities. And these activities are all beneficial to students, and they're things such as sports or music or theater. And all three of these, they really help build some important life lessons for students. There are things that you're going to learn in music and theater and even on a sports team that you're going to keep with you for the rest of your life. Another thing that these after-school activities do are they help keep students out of trouble. They keep them at school or with a responsible adult or teacher, and they are able to be themselves and express themselves in a ton of different ways, especially in the music and the theater. Even with sports, like there's a lot of different things that they can do. And then lastly, these, like with music, there are like studies that show that it's important that students are in music. Music can help students with their like mathematical progress and retaining mathematical information, because a lot of music has to do with counting.
After-school activities are still possible. With all year-round schooling, they can offer an extra session of like remedial and enrichment classes to students who need it so they won't fall behind. And then for the summer breaks, summer camps and activities and vacations are still possible. Instead of the breaks being, for example, 3 months, they might only be a month, so they can still participate in the events that they want to.
And all right, thank you guys for listening to our podcast. Once again, I'm Trevor Williamson.
And this is Leah Smith.
And thank you guys.